If you've found this video and are wondering what it would be like to be in a world of pure reality television, true crime drama, and celebrity tea, then let me welcome you to Murder Tea Party, hosted by Sarah and Aurora. Well, let us begin, shall we?
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Same Bullshit, Different Week. My name is Sarah.
I'm Aurora.
And welcome to Murder Tea Party, where we talk about true crime and also gossip.
Yeah, we talk shit about people. And sorry that we sound so tired. We do want to be here. We just got back from a long weekend at San Japan.
I just woke up from a depression nap like an hour ago.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. Also, my dog's here.
Yeah.
Is he on camera? Vinny.
Okay.
It's my
Well.
dog. There he is. This is
Yay.
Romeo.
This is Romeo.
He's not feeling great right now.
Yeah.
So he's joining us for a bit because I didn't want to leave him at home
Mhm.
because I'm also a big baby.
Yeah. And I'm just a tired baby.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm ready to talk shit about some people and get weird about some murderers.
Okay, so first off, do we have any socials? Do you have any socials?
Oh,
That
yeah.
we want people to follow?
So you can follow me on just my regular Instagram. It's at Aurora Belinda. So AURORA BELINDA. It's a mouthful.
Mhm.
And then you can follow my Twitter. It's still under construction, so I'm not going to plug that one. So yeah, just follow me on Instagram because I usually check that one the most.
Cool. For me, I have a public Instagram account. That's my like idol cosplay stuff, and it's at Momo Queen Bovine. And then my Twitter is a D&D Twitter. It is at Kiryu Kiryu is a good boy. And that's a reference to Yakuza because I'm also trash for video games. And then we also have the YouTube, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
VZTV,
Mm-hmm.
and okay, and Facebook, right? Do you guys have Facebook, VZTV? No. Okay. Do we have anything else? It's just YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, at VZTV.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about San Japan.
Fucking love
Okay.
Vinny.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were at San Japan this weekend. If you don't know what San Japan is, it is a anime convention in San Antonio, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I mostly use this weekend to drink and eat food I shouldn't eat.
well, you came to the con on Sunday.
Yeah, I came to the con on Sunday and we pulled a con on him, but we don't have to talk about that.
No. Shh. And it's one of the bigger anime conventions in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Acon is probably the biggest. And then what's the Fan Expo, right? Is that an anime convention or is that just a game convention? Do you know? Okay, he doesn't know. He doesn't have all the answers, even though I expect him to. And then San Japan is like up there in size, definitely.
Mm-hmm. It's getting bigger.
Oh yeah, definitely. But they're it's out of the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center, so it's a pretty big area.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we didn't film this weekend. We're filming on Labor Day, Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I was so freaking busy at the convention. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I think I saw you maybe like in passing
Mm-hmm.
twice a day, but never like for a very long length of time unless we were sleeping.
Yeah.
Aurora went to the con, but didn't actually do anything.
I didn't really do anything. I'm not really a con girl. I am to support my friends because they perform in cosplay. But I'm not really like in the con scene at all, mostly because people at cons tend to smell bad. And there's a lot of people there and my anxiety goes insane. So I just remove myself. But I
yeah.
do love a weekend away.
Yeah. No, so it was like a vacation. We had like a party on Friday.
Yeah, I want a party.
At Howl at the Moon. Shout
Yeah.
out. It was the whitest bar we've ever been to in our lives.
But we fucking lost it at the Panic at the Disco song.
Yeah, and they also because they have a live band. They don't have like a
Yeah.
DJ. And
Yeah.
so it's just these two white boys up there playing
It's a piano
pianos.
bar, yeah.
Yeah, it's a piano bar that has buckets of alcohol. Like
yeah.
plastic buckets that they fill with booze.
Mhm.
And that's why I like
Mhm.
to go. And then we
Mhm.
went to Bonham Exchange afterwards.
Yeah,
which
I kept thinking our friend Steph was saying bottom
that's me
exchange.
too. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's a gay bar.
Yes!
This is on brand. Bottom exchange.
Which like it is a gay bar, but
Yeah.
it's Bonham.
Yeah,
Bonham
it's
Exchange.
Bonham, like Bonham Carter, the
The
lady.
Helena Bonham
Yeah.
Carter, yeah.
Yeah, the
The Helena
one.
Bonham Carter.
yeah, the Helena Bottom Carter. I'm sorry if I'm mumbly today. Yeah, so that's what we did with our weekend and why we're just recording now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, do you have anything to add about San Japan?
No.
Yeah, same.
It was fun.
No,
I didn't get to cosplay as much as I wanted to, but
I don't cosplay.
yeah.
We've
Mm.
established that I am not a con girl.
Yes, Vinny, do you want to add something? Is that why or
I'm getting old.
yeah.
Me too.
Oh god, no, these fucking youngins at these conventions, man. So like I was a part of the Hitalia fandom in 2012, and Hitalia cosplayers and Homestuck cosplayers in 2012 were some of the cringiest people on the planet. And now it's the
Mhm.
under 18 My Hero cosplayers, and I can't. I'm like, I love you guys. You're children. You're learning.
Yeah,
I was the same way at your age,
Yeah.
but I can't fucking be around you.
Yeah. Don't talk to me unless you're legally allowed to drink. And even then, if you only just started legally drinking, I still don't want to talk
No,
to
I'm
you.
friends with a lot of people who are under the drinking age only because they're like idols in the idol
Oh,
community. Yeah.
I'm not. I make it a point to not be friends
No, I
with
know.
under 21-year-olds.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else we want to add about this weekend?
No.
Cool. What's next?
Wait. It's time for the news.
Hi, it's time for the news.
It's time for the news.
Yes.
I don't know what news segments sound like before. I was gonna sing the John Cena theme.
Please don't. So the VMAs were, I would say, 2 weekends ago
Mm-hmm.
now. They were hosted by Sebastian Maniscalco,
Who, like, whenever I heard who was hosting the VMAs, like,
yeah.
afterwards, I was like, who the fuck is this guy? I've literally never heard of
Yeah.
him in my life.
So like he really ran with the fact that he is old and like does not understand millennials because he like referenced various times that like no one is going to get a trophy for participation, that this is actually an awards show. And it was like, yeah, we get it. You're pulling the whole like, oh, you darn kids and your feelings type thing, which like very much rubbed me the wrong way.
Oh, yeah.
And then it wasn't really my thing, and he was unfunny.
Yeah, he definitely was not funny.
I'm pretty sure Taylor Swift, as much as I hate uttering her name because I don't like giving her more publicity than she deserves, they kept panning to her. It's like
yeah, throughout the whole VMAs, they kept panning to her.
yeah, and like her offbeat dancing like this. This was like her dance
White girl
move.
dancing.
Yeah, like the whitest girl dancing.
Mhm.
And they put him in a glittery bomber jacket to make him cool for the kids. It was held in Jersey, so they
I would
had
wear
like
that
a
jacket.
whole like New Jersey thing, and they talked about Bruce Springsteen because of course. I literally only watched the VMAs because at long last Missy Misdemeanor Elliott finally got her Vanguard Award.
What is
Just
a Vanguard Award?
so like it's given to people who have like pioneered music, have
Mhm.
done great things for music. It's named after Michael Jackson, who like the award was named after Michael Jackson. So it's the official name is like the Michael Jackson Video Music Vanguard Award or something. And so
Oh.
like just to put it in perspective, Jennifer Lopez, who cannot sing but has eternal youth,
yeah,
got a Vanguard before.
yeah. Okay, so that's what I thought. I was like, I
Yeah.
had never heard that. Like,
yeah. I don't mind it. We can go into the Michael Jackson stuff at another time.
yeah, like I just like I
Um,
had never heard the Michael Jackson name with it.
Mhm.
And so like I was confused by it, but I'm assuming it's
Mhm.
because of everything that
Mhm.
happened earlier this year.
Mhm. Oh my god, I did read that Monica was very ghetto at the 1998 VMA Awards, and I don't like using the word ghetto because I feel like it's overused.
Why did they? Why was Monica?
Because
very
Monica
good at it?
punched Brandy in the face right before they went on
At
stage.
the VMAs.
At the VMAs.
Oh, are they the ones that have all the beef together?
Oh yeah.
The ones that the one that Brandy changed the
yeah.
lyrics to at her concert
Mhm.
for Monica.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, so I literally only turned it on because I wanted to watch the Missy segment.
Mhm.
Of course, she fucking killed it because she's fucking Missy Elliott, who like has done music for everyone from like Beyonce to Ciara to Aaliyah.
Yeah, and I love that she didn't change her like weird themes.
Yeah, no, she's always been fucking weird. Like her Throw It Back video that she came out with for her new album Iconology, fucking amazing. It's so weird.
Mhm.
And like that's what she's known for. She's known for thinking out of the box, for making music that's always going to stick. Like Work It to this day
Mhm.
is a masterpiece. And like Hot Boys is my favorite summer song. Like it will get me into a hoe ass mood. And like I'm typically like not a hoe, no offense to anyone that does hoe. I don't care, live your life, be
Mhm.
safe. So it was just really good. John Travolta was bald.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. It's like he's going full Scientology.
But like, you know what? I don't mind the bald look. I actually really like it.
no,
To be fair,
he had
was
like a
his
a
hair he was-
goatee with it, right?
maybe, I don't know. He was like silver foxing it up, I think. I thought he looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
He looked the best he's looked in like years. And like
I
don't-
heard he still like was up there being fucking John Travolta though. Not
Yeah.
like
never change. At least he's consistent.
what? Okay,
Unlike
what did
Taylor
he call
Swift.
Idina Menzel?
Oh, fuck. He called her like
Adele Dazeem.
Thank
Adele
you.
Dazeem.
Adele
thank you.
Dazeem. Yes.
And then this year, he tried to give Taylor Swift's award to drag queen Jade Jolie, who had the exact same hair as her.
To be fair, it should have gone to Jade Jolie.
It should have gone to Jade.
Yeah, Taylor Swift, I feel, is like stuck in this perpetual like old way of like trying to stay relevant.
She
like,
brought Todrick Hall up.
yeah, because now that
Which was
nobody
pretty
likes
cool.
her, no, it's not cool because she's just pandering to the gays.
No, I know. I just
Like-
like Todrick Hall.
Yeah, me too. But
So I was just happy that he was like on
yeah.
TV.
Also, Missy Elliott brought the hosts of The Read to the MTV
Did
video, yeah, the VMAs, because back in 2018 they went like it's on one of the episodes and I can't reference it and I meant to, but
Mhm.
they like went on this long rant about why she deserved the video the
Vanguard
yeah.
Awards, yeah.
Yeah, because she definitely deserved it before Jennifer Lopez.
I don't understand why Jennifer Lopez got it.
I don't know because she's a really good dancer and
But it's like what does the Vanguard like stand for? Is it just
It's
like
like-
overall?
yeah, like overall greatness in music. And like I wouldn't say that Jennifer Lopez has contributed any greatness other than being in the Selena movie. So Missy definitely should have gotten it first. Now the girls are wanting Busta Rhymes to get it, but he is outwardly homophobic. So
Why Busta Rhymes?
have you seen Busta Rhymes music videos? They're really fucking crazy.
Yeah, okay, so is it for music videos?
It's for music videos. It's just artistry in general.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's for the-
So,
Oh, okay. Oh,
Mhm.
David. Okay, yeah. Like these make
Mhm.
sense. Like,
Mhm. Yeah, because like although David Bowie is a shit person, like he did contribute a lot to rock music,
he did. No, his
Mhm.
music was really great. He just lied
and
about
is
things.
trash.
Yeah. Um,
And you can tell David Bowie I said that.
you can't. He's dead.
Well, you can tell him in a séance.
Okay.
For those of you girls who think you can do that, you can do that.
Okay. Lizzo. That's the only thing I cared about. At the
Yeah,
VMAs
I
was
really,
Lizzo.
yeah, Liz. I don't know why I was gonna call her Leo. Oh, it's because I'm looking at the Vic poster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Lizzo was really good with her big fat butt on stage.
I know. I was like,
and her like,
I'm glad that she pulled that
Yeah.
out. I was like, that's fucking weird, but I love
yeah,
it.
and like her 6 like costume changes. Living,
I
they did
know.
Normani really dirty.
Did they?
Because Motivation just came out and I am obsessed with it. Like,
Mhm.
it's so good. The dance is so good. Like, I knew from the minute I saw her in Fifth Harmony, I was like, that one's going to be a star.
No, yeah, Normani was my favorite in Fifth Harmony.
Same. It was Normani and no one else. Like, I didn't. Lauren sometimes, but that's
No,
because she
Lauren-
gave off big gay vibes.
Oh, no, Lauren's pretty cool. Yeah.
And
I also
so-
like her because she is also a huge Lana Del Rey fan. So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I relate.
Yeah. But Normani, they did her dirty. The sound was all off. So like when she was singing, you heard more of the backing track than her actual voice.
Mhm.
And it was just done really lazily. And like I think like the VMAs is kind of like things that you buy at Ross. Like it's almost perfect, but there's something a little ugly about it.
Mhm.
And that's what they did the whole show. Like even with Missy's segment, they had Cardi B give her the award,
Yeah, I know.
which
I saw
thought
that,
was
and I was
really
like,
really weird because I feel like they only did it because they wanted to be relevant, and like none of the kiddos in the audience actually knew any of the words to her songs, and even if they did, they probably just knew the chorus.
Mhm.
And like whatever, like all right, you old kids, but like that's all I have to say about the VMAs. I feel like I was supposed to be more excited about it and I wasn't, but it's only because I'm so old that I literally don't know any of the people that were on the red carpet other than like the Jersey Shore cast and like
The fucking Jersey Shore.
Yeah,
cast
they
was
went-
there? Oh,
yeah,
that's
of course they
amazing.
did.
Oh,
They're
because I was in
19
Jersey.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
I feel about the Oscars now.
Well, the Oscars are a little different. I only ever watch for the red carpet segment because I fucking love fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, you know, I dress like a homeless dog. But
It's just become less interesting for me.
yeah, it's become
Yeah,
less
yeah.
interesting. It's become less interesting. People have become like more woke. So like they're politicizing award shows now, which, you know, is cool, but also like a weird gray area that again belongs on another show. That dog is being very loud and he needs to get it together.
What do you think about that, Romeo?
Yeah, same.
What do you think about that dog?
He said bork, bork.
Bork?
Get it the borking bork together. I'm Romeo's voice.
Yeah, so I've been like obsessively listening to Spotify playlists. So I'm
Same.
kind of like I know more about newer artists than I have been in the
Mhm.
past.
Mhm.
Still doesn't mean I
Care about that.
care about them. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Uh,
really don't.
The best part about the VMAs was Lizzo, Missy Elliott, and Sophie Turner and Jonathan Van Ness meeting for the 1st time.
Mhm.
Okay, I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it for the VMA stuff. I really
Yeah, because
don't-
like it was just really disappointing.
yeah,
Like it wasn't.
yeah.
I don't know. You like said this in the group chat, and I was like, "Oh, okay." So,
Yeah. So
police found a burglary
burglary
suspect
Words.
hiding out in a treehouse with like a fire pit and a barbecue.
He was set,
Which, like,
He
to be fair, that's living the life.
but also I was like, is the burglar 12? Did he need money for ice cream day?
Okay, but like,
Get me
I don't know. Like, he couldn't have just run away. Wait, did he like steal the fire pit and the barbecue, or what did he steal? Does it say in the article, Vinny?
We are with it.
I don't know.
Okay.
Why don't you scroll down
Let's scroll.
so I can look at the article?
Okay. Wasn't that unusual until the police found him in a treehouse.
Items taken from the residence and garage. I don't. Okay. Oh, he was 50. He was 50, apparently. And he was equipped with fire pit, barbecue, and lighting. I guess he was like planning on hiding out there for a while. But like, was it in their treehouse? Or was it just in a
Yeah,
random treehouse?
I think it was in like the house he burglarized his treehouse.
Okay, why did he go any farther? That doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
It's he probably like I don't want to say he was like a career criminal. It kind of sounds like homie was just on desperate times and was like, you know what?
Mhm.
Just gonna post up in this treehouse. They'll never find me here.
Yeah, it's just like serial killers or like murderers in general.
Mhm.
Or arsonists when they return to the scene afterwards
Kind
to
of
be like, hey, what happened? It's like,
Yeah, it's kind of like a weird gloat, like a weird brag.
yeah, and I don't understand.
What about that Mindhunter season 2?
We haven't watched it.
So-
We were trying to watch season 1.
Yeah, we're only on season 1, and so far I think they're doing a really good job. We only just started going down the Ed Kemper.
Yes, the Ed
Road.
Kemper hole.
Speaking of, I'm listening to a podcast about Ed Edwards.
Ed Edwards.
Yeah, he killed a bunch of women in Wisconsin.
See, I'm learning all about all of these serial killers. Like, I'm
Mhm.
watching Criminal Minds right now, and
Dude, the crazy thing is, you know how like serial killers usually like you don't really know who they are?
Mhm.
This dude chronicled like his whole life on like cassette tape. Like he recorded himself. He wrote a whole book called
yeah,
like,
no. There's a lot of serial
Yeah.
killers that do that afterwards, just to be
Mhm.
like,
No, he did it during. Like he
Oh, really?
he full on said to one of his neighbors, he was like, "Yeah, I'm a reformed criminal and I need you to babysit my children." And the ladies, the girls'
mhm.
moms were like, "Okay, yeah. I mean, everyone needs a second chance." And I'm like, "Ma'am, he killed people."
Yeah, they didn't ask. They didn't ask what the crime
Well,
was.
so at that time he'd only confessed to like burglary,
Okay.
basically.
yeah,
But yeah, he killed and tortured women. And what's really weird
That's pretty
is
crazy.
they listen to like tapes on tapes on tapes of this
Mhm.
man recording himself, and he records over
Are the kids okay?
the kids are not. Oh yeah, the kids I mean are alive at every cost, but
Just wanted to clear that up.
yeah, the kids are
kids are
alive.
fine.
The kids are alive. They're tired of talking about
Oh,
it.
okay, cool.
it's like Ted Bundy's daughter changed her name after
Yeah,
like
yeah,
everything
yeah.
happened because she's like, "Fuck this!" Oh
And he was like a pathological liar, which like isn't surprising.
no, it's not surprising.
The hill he wanted to die on over like one specific lie was that the KFC chicken, of which the buckets were still in the kitchen when he had his family over for dinner, was chicken he actually made. And his daughter's husband was like, "You're a fucking liar. I see the KFC."
See the KFC bucket.
Yeah,
what the fuck
yeah,
are you doing?
yeah. But
That's oh my
yeah.
god, that makes me think of
Yeah.
fucking there's this really bad movie called The Last Vampire on Earth by Vitaly Versace, and like Red Letter Media does like a whole best of the worst episode
Mhm.
on it, and it's fucking hilarious.
Mhm.
And they have this scene where the
Hurricanes
vampire
do suck. We should nuke them.
vampires do suck. Oh, hurricanes, yeah, sorry.
Just kidding. You can't nuke a hurricane.
No shit.
Can't nuke a fucking hurricane.
So like they go to the girl's house
Mhm.
like with her family because it's like this girl who
Mm-hmm.
is dying of AIDS,
Mhm.
and this guy who's a vampire
Mhm.
and who's not a good actor at all, which isn't surprising. But he showed up on time to the movie, and that's why he got the part. I'm not joking. They
That's
go
so
to
great.
her house, and
Mhm.
this mom is like, "I just finished cooking dinner," and then she just brings out a whole bunch of fucking plates of KFC chicken and like all the sides, and it's like She does this twice. There's like 2 different scenes where they're like, I just finished making dinner, and it's just fucking KFC. And you fucking know that. Like,
she put it on a plate.
she just put it on a plate, and it probably happened because Vitaly Versace was like, oh, well, I need a meal scene, so I'm just gonna order KFC because it comes with a bunch
Listen,
of sides.
If and when I ever get married, that's gonna be my reception food.
It's KFC.
It's just a bunch of fucking chicken.
Oh, fuck yeah.
We're not trying to spend a
No,
lot of
wait,
money.
can we like get College Roadhouse?
Yeah, I mean, if they want to
Fucking cater that.
Sold you now. Shout
Oh,
out to
sorry,
our favorite
Sold
restaurant.
You now. Shout out to Sold You. What were you gonna say, Vinny? No, say it.
No, say it.
I want to hear you say it.
Britney Spears had chicken nuggets and cheeseburgers at her reception
Her
when she
reception,
married
really?
when she married Jason
Kevin-
Alexander.
Oh, Jason
Yeah.
Alexander.
Yeah.
Not the guy from Seinfeld.
Yeah, the guy she married for like 28 hours or something.
I was gonna say, when you have to make a movie, but you also have to have catering for the movie.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Um,
When you've got a movie shoot at 4 but a cookout at 5.
just go to Bill Miller's. I mean,
I mean, if at that point you might as well just go to Rudy's.
So that chiropractor.
Oh yeah.
oh, sorry. Yeah, Vinny brought up this article. I hadn't seen this before, but also I haven't been paying very good attention
I
to
was-
anything lately.
I was actively avoiding doing work, so I just decided to do research for the podcast.
Oh yeah, I was sick,
Yeah.
so I was throwing up at home.
Those stomach bugs.
Fucking shit. Yeah. So a chiropractor killed people,
He's been charged with killing 4 people in a North Dakota warehouse.
but we're watching Beto on the video right
That
now
will
for
work,
some
yeah.
reason.
Yeah.
A quadruple homicide, so they were all killed at the same time. So it was
Mhm.
like a mass killing. He's not like a
Mhm.
serial killer. It's like a mass killer.
Mhm.
They found bodies of 3 men and 1 woman at the office. 4 victims were identified. News conference. Motive for the crime remains unknown. How did they die? Does it say?
Mhm.
Great podcast.
Great podcast.
Just
so
us
prepared.
reading.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't say
Professionals.
how they died. I don't think.
Just that they were found dead.
Just that they were found dead.
Yeah.
And
It sounds like this is fairly new.
Yeah. The 4 victims were killed at Thursday's news conference. Oh, no. At Thursday's news I was like, they were killed at a
Punctuation-
news conference?
Punctuation is so important. Like,
Okay.
I don't think
why?
people
But why
understand
did
that.
how did they connect him to?
They don't know the connection. Like, this is literally like people are just like like all the W's are not
Who,
being
what,
ans-
when, where,
yeah,
why.
Yeah. Like they know
And
the
wheat.
whomst. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
They know the whomst, they know the where. They don't know the what, and they don't know the why.
And okay. So they ruled out the possibility of a murder-suicide. These 4 people didn't do it themselves.
They were alive before they were dead. New at 5.
They were killed to death.
Just murdered to death
Fuck, this fucking...
in a
Hold on.
warehouse where they died before they were dead. They were alive. That's basically what the
Okay, I
police
got
in
it.
North Dakota have to go on.
That's it. Okay. Weird. Because of a careless person who is still out there. Oh.
Mhm. But they know he's a chiropractor.
Mm-hmm. That's weird.
Yeah, is there even 4 people in North Dakota to murder? Like, did he have to bust them in from like Idaho?
They came from Canada.
South Dakota.
Oh, they came from South Dakota. Yes, Montana.
No. Do you think 4 people live in Montana?
No, one of them is my coworker. I'm sorry. Geography is not my strong suit anymore.
I have a fucking story for you.
Oh
What?
yes,
Yeah,
tell the
us.
story.
It's easy to probably get mad at me, but here, let me put it on the
I want to see. I want to see.
multi-screen. It's not a news story, but it's just a conversation we had.
Mhm.
We were walking out of the convention hall for the last part of the last day of San Japan, and
Did you meet the 2 people from North Dakota?
No,
That are still
it just
living?
has to do with geography.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So we were walking out, and she was talking to Kaylee before she left. Kaylee, or friend Kaylee, about if she was going to go to Delta H or not, and she already knew, but she asked anyway, and she felt dumb afterwards. That's not the part. But she was like, oh yeah, she lives up in Dallas, and I'm like, how far is Dallas from Houston? I'm like, it's much farther. I mean, she's like, well, how far away is Austin from? And it's like, and I like had to pull up a map, and I'm like, okay, San Antonio is closer to Houston, and like just kind of explaining things, and she's like, I'm like, how do you not know the geography of the state that you've lived in longer than me? And I was just like,
To be fair, you can drive for like 14 hours in any direction in this trash state and still not leave it.
Yeah.
And the further out you
it
go.
was just kind of weird because I was like, no, because she was like, well, how long is the drive? It's like, it's a 5-hour drive.
Oh yeah,
easy,
easily without
from
traffic.
Dallas to Houston.
Yeah.
yeah.
I frequently made that drive
Mm-hmm.
for a while.
And it's also because like it takes like an hour and a half to get across either of those cities anyway because they're so big.
Yeah. But no. Yeah, everything's very far in this state. The next 2
Yeah,
cons
you
we're going to
definitely-
are very far.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
definitely
Oh,
need
God,
a car
yeah.
to get around here.
Yeah.
I don't like my friend who lives in Massachusetts, like it still blows her mind because she can be in Connecticut in 2 hours. And I'm like, I'm still in Texas.
I will say when I drove to California, it was easy for our road trip this year. Just majority of the day from like 5 in the morning to like 11, we were just about getting out of Texas
Yeah.
Yeah.
into New
Yeah.
Mexico,
Oh, yeah,
and
no.
it is the hardest thing ever.
I took
Yeah.
a road trip to Tennessee a
'Cause-
couple years back, and like it took me like
hmm
8 hours to get to
Mhm.
Texarkana.
Yeah, it took
And-
us, I think, six hours to get out of Texas via Houston into New Orleans.
Yeah, and that was like most of the day.
Mhm.
Oh God, it's
Oh.
just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But like, I still would rather live here than anywhere else.
Yeah, I think it's just because it's what I know. And
Yeah.
I still love Austin, even though there's a lot of things wrong with it.
Every time I think about going back to California, I think about how much I would have to pay and like everything
Yeah.
else.
Oh,
But
God.
then I'm like, but Disneyland though. And then I'm like, well, everything else would be expensive.
yeah, everything else would be terrible.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I've been thinking about this a lot this week because there's another
Mhm.
thing about cancel culture that happened this week. Not just pro Jared, but like, okay, so if you guys don't know, pro Jared is a YouTuber. I watched him a lot back in the day. I thought he was a pretty funny person, and he's
I
very
literally
open.
Didn't know who this man was.
He's very open. He was a part of the Normal Boots cast, friends with Peanut Butter Gamer and The Completionist and all of them. Because like I'm more knowledgeable about the YouTube side of things.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
I was like, who are these people?
They're just people. They're just video game people on the
You
internet.
know,
Okay.
John Tron.
No.
Okay.
Mm.
I'm
No.
sorry. The name seems familiar, but it escapes me because I do not. I do know Game Grumps, but only because she watches it.
I
My
do,
roommate
yeah.
watches it.
John Tron was an original
Oh.
Yeah,
game.
he was the
Grump.
original Game Grump.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
The more you know.
He's doing a lot better now, which is great. That's a whole different story, though.
Mhm.
So earlier this year, Pro Jared
Mhm.
got into some shit. So
Unbeknownst to me.
essentially what happened was his ex-wife came out just randomly. Okay, so first, did Jared posted the thing about getting divorced first, right?
So what ended up happening first, from what I remember, was he
Because I feel like he posted the thing about getting divorced.
he posted about he was going to be getting separated and then divorced from his
and
wife
then he
Heidi at the
blocked
time.
his wife.
Yeah, because okay, I'm going to say this, and it's just from what I see her posting on her Twitter.
Yeah.
She seems a little bit crazy.
Okay.
It's just like she seems like a little bit like I know that I hate this so much because it's like there's two sides to a story, but like I've been through 2 divorces in my life that I've seen happen
Mhm.
with my mom and my dad and some other people in the life you're aware of,
Mhm.
Sarah.
Mhm.
We won't talk about that on this channel.
No,
But anyways,
this is not a marriage and love channel.
This is not
Yeah.
a marriage and love channel.
but there's always that one side that like the side that like tries to get out and tries to get the attention behind themselves, especially with this day and age with social media and things. Like I bet if my dad was younger or my mom was younger, like someone would be posting on Facebook about their marriage. But Heidi just has like this thing about her, and I know there's a lot of people like emotional abuse, things like that
Yeah.
they're being put through.
Of course.
But there's some people who can read specific, like just not wanting to be in the relationship as emotional abuse and things like that.
Yeah.
But she was posting like, oh, Jared was abusive, emotionally abusive, blah, blah, blah. And then like all the stuff came out about him cheating, and then all the stuff came out.
So
through the divorce, she was the one that was like dragging his name. through
Yes.
the
Yeah,
mess.
So,
it's
like-
because he was the more popular person.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
she's
she
a
was just a
cosplayer,
cosplayer,
yeah.
and
Okay.
she became. I don't want to say this, but I feel like because she was with Pro Jared,
she got a big head.
She got a big hit up in like her cosplaying, and
Yeah.
it doesn't say. I've looked at her cosplays, and she's pretty cool, pretty all right. But other than that, there's nothing really special. Like she made her way and she did that, but the whole thing was she kind of just went off and started throwing all this stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
And then all these other people came out, and
Okay,
that's
yeah,
that's
so
where
let
it comes
me get
into
into- yeah.
the pedophile stuff.
Yeah, let me get into this. So essentially what happened was Pro Jared, he posted about getting separated from his wife, and then blocked his wife on Twitter. And so everybody was like, what the fuck is happening? And so Heidi, who was his wife, Atelier Heidi, she started going off about him, about how he had been making her uncomfortable by exchanging nudes with fans for years, how he was cheating on her for the last 6 months with Holly, who is Ross's ex-wife, Ross, who is associated with Game Grumps. Holly is also a cosplayer. She was on Heroes of Cosplay back in the day. And so they're together now, I think.
So I don't think they're actually together. I think that she's just trying to be like accepting of him now, and kind of like that the full story is out there, sort of thing. Like
Yeah.
everything is out there now.
Okay, so
Yeah.
she's like cool with
She's
being
like, well,
associated with
because
him
she
now.
released a post, because I'm garbage for internet drama, and I shouldn't be.
No, I am too.
Me too.
That's why we made this
But
The
I-
whole
podcast.
James Charles,
And this is
Tati
like-
Westbrook thing.
Yeah.
Ate it up.
Yeah.
There's all this stuff coming out, and we'll get to that after this
Yes,
whole discussion. But she released her own stuff, basically explaining the situation, saying, and the whole part that irks me about the whole thing is like the pedophilia stuff needed to be talked about, and the exchanging of images, even though there were many sources that said they were in a open relationship and that she was going off and doing things with other men as well, and he
Yeah.
wasn't okay with it, and he was like, okay, this relationship isn't working, sort of stuff.
Yeah.
He mentioned that in his second post, where he was like, this is what happened, blah blah blah, and then like Heidi was like, oh blah blah, I can't believe you said that, and everyone was like, oh, you're a fucking clown, you're a clown memes everywhere, here's
Which
your
were-
clown suit.
pretty funny. But
I like a good clown meme.
also, like, he, during all of this, while his wife was throwing out the accusations of, cheating and, like, manipulating fans and stuff and like nudes and whatever, he was also being accused of exchanging nudes with and like pressuring underage kids to send him nudes.
Which is like a very serious
Yes.
accusation.
Yes. And it was mostly perpetuated by these 2 kids.
Both named Charlie.
Well, no, one of them's named Chai and the other one's named
No,
Charlie.
they're both named Charlie, but one of them
Yeah.
goes by Chai.
Oh,
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, he just called him Chai in the video because they both
That's the
go by
Twitter name.
Charlie.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so weird. Okay. Coincidence. And they essentially gave this story about how they were like pressured into giving him
Mhm.
nudes, and so everybody was like
Mhm.
jumping on that because the internet obviously
The internet will
wants to take
yeah.
the victim's
they-
side.
yeah, which is valid and fair.
It's valid and fair, but
And
like,
that's usually why I stay quiet until
yeah,
I know the full
same.
story.
No, yeah, no, I feel the same
Mhm.
way.
But I usually stay quiet on the internet anyways, just because I don't want to be like yelled at and stuff
Not me,
like
I'll
that.
fight.
Me too. Yeah, I don't want
Not
to.
me, I'll
do
fight
I
your
will.
racist
I will
grandma.
watch the fire from afar with the
With
thing
a-
of popcorn
Yeah,
and just
me
go
too.
like, all right.
I mean, I'll do that while simultaneously fighting your
Yeah.
grandma on why she's racist.
Yeah.
and
Oh,
why
yeah,
she's
yeah.
wrong.
No, but
I love a good
my whole
Facebook
thing
comment
is
fight.
like I'm just like I don't. I'll if it's a bad thing, it's a bad thing. I'll sit here and watch the whole story unfold,
Mhm.
and
Yeah, exactly.
then I'm
Mhm.
not gonna say someone's bad until
Yeah. But-
My views on that, I guess I should say, is like I'll watch it and I'll form my own opinion like as the story folds out.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like if like someone is in the wrong, I'm gonna have my own opinions about it and about them. But I'm not gonna outwardly voice it, mostly because like, and I say this constantly, I'm literally too tired to like outwardly comment on it. But if someone asks me about it, I'll be like, this is
My own life is falling
feelings.
apart, so I like to watch internet drama, but I
Same.
won't participate in it.
Same.
So finally, after all of these months, Jared finally released a response to it, you
Mhm.
know, like,
This is my dream.
and it's like,
I'm sorry.
it's a really good video.
It
like,
is. It's very thorough.
He's very thorough.
Mhm.
He's very much like,
He has receipts showing that him and
Yeah.
Chai and him and Charlie number 2, like never actually like interacted. And even though they interacted within those timestamps, there was nothing like incriminating on either side that showed that he actually did the things that
yeah,
they were
and
saying.
like he did them. He said he
Mhm.
was like, yeah, no, these things happened with Charlie, but they told me that they were 18.
Which is the thing that I was
Mm-hmm.
talking to Zizi about, where it was like, even though like he talks about how he had like an open Snapchat where you would exchange nudes, and I was
Yeah.
like, okay, that's a
Mhm.
little bit interesting, especially being a YouTuber. Something could go wrong here, but at the same time, I'm just like, okay,
Yeah,
you do you.
like-
You have your own thing that you want to do, and Heidi's okay with
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
that's the tricky thing. Like it's like the whole double-edged sword. I think of like being famous on the internet or having some sort of notoriety anywhere in any forum is that like, you know, everyone's watching what you're doing. And
Yeah.
like personally, like I don't think I'm ever gonna get to that position because I just don't really care to. But like people on the internet, and this has happened for like the length of the internet, are really good at like just digging up shit on
Yeah,
others
okay.
for the sole purpose of digging shit up.
Yeah, that brings me to my next point, which is cancel culture.
Mm-hmm.
he did end up talking about the divorce at the end, but I feel
Yeah, he
I
did,
just need
but-
to add this. The pedophile part needed to be talked about and addressed, and everything needed to be brought up.
Mhm.
But like divorces, blah blah blah, cheating, stuff like that doesn't need to be brought into the internet spotlight
No,
whatsoever.
I
and
don't
it
think
didn't
so.
need
That's
it to
much. That's
yeah.
much more of a personal thing.
Mhm.
You
That
know?
whole thing was kind of petty, and I was just like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely petty.
And I was just like, we
he
don't
was-
need to talk about
Yeah,
this.
he was just. I feel like that moment was just like him being on his soapbox and like, I guess being a little like tired of like having his name dragged through the mud, not only by people who like, for all intents and purposes, like I would give two shits about having an opinion on me unless it was something as serious as that.
Mm-hmm.
So he just threw it in there to be like, oh, by the way, I'm also mad about this, which is stupid.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
if that's what he wants to do,
It's-
whatever.
Yeah, it's
It
freaking
was more like, this
insane.
is what happened. I'm tired of talking about it.
Mhm,
It's our
Mhm.
personal business.
Mhm.
Me
mhm.
and like, I love how he's like, me and Ross are friends. This didn't happen while they were together. It was all mutual, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
And he just kind of like added that on the end. I went to Heidi's Twitter afterward, and there were tons of people like tweeting her,
Mhm.
going, and I was just like, she just has like this crazy woman vibe where she's just trying to. I know, I know that I just need to say this now, but where she's just trying to get attention, where it's like there's a fine line between someone who is really upset and something bad actually, like it could have been she could have taken it as
Mhm.
being emotionally abusive
Mhm.
and things like this. But there's like a fine line between like getting like you actually need help
Mhm.
on this and like I just want the internet attention for it, and that's how I felt. And I was just kind of
Yeah.
like slowly watching this happen. I was just like,
Yeah.
why are you talking about it so much? Just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Yeah,
it's
I
just
feel like a lot of things in regards to this particular case have a lot to do with people who just want attention.
yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
cancel culture.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
So like,
Which brings us to our next point.
yeah, back to my point. In the comments of this video, because I read through the comments, there are a lot of people that are like, I'm really sorry that I
Mhm.
jumped to conclusions. You know, like
Mhm.
there are people who
Mhm.
like a lot of people who watch the video are genuinely like, and I went to his like
Mhm.
posts on Twitter too, and
Mhm.
it was all people being like, I'm sorry I jumped to
Mhm.
conclusions. This, you know,
Mhm.
this all happened so much, and
Mhm.
it's easier to believe the victims, and
Mhm.
you know, it's genuinely like,
Mhm.
if you don't believe the victims, you know, you don't want to be that person that thinks somebody's a liar, and it's
Right.
terrible, you know, like you want to believe the victims because you want to believe that they wouldn't lie about something terrible happening to
Right,
them.
because it's a terrible fucking thing.
Yes. So cancel culture in general is something I find to be very interesting. Only
like-
because like
I think it's really problematic in and of itself.
it is really problematic in and of itself.
that's one of-
Because like it's essentially like the thought that if you do one thing wrong, you can never be forgiven for it. You can
Mhm.
never like learn and grow from it. It's
Mhm.
essentially like you're done.
And to be fair,
Done doing anything. And I don't like I think like the dependency on the mistake
Mhm.
is what really
Mhm.
like solidifies whether or not somebody needs to be canceled
Mhm.
for me personally, at
Mhm.
least. Like if somebody murders somebody, it's like obviously, yeah. If somebody like rapes somebody, it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, like the seriousness of a crime. Yeah. You're a
Mhm.
pedophile. You deserve to be canceled.
But if like because this happens a lot, like
Mhm.
because you and me both know it happens a lot in like the K-pop world,
Oh yeah.
where like a kid that just debuted at like 19
Mm-hmm.
is revealed to have been like a bully
Like when
or
they were like
something
14
when
or
they were
something.
like 12, and it's like, yeah, have you met a 12-year-old? They're shitheads.
Yeah, they're terrible. Like
yeah,
there's
they
like
think they know everything.
like when NCT debuted,
Mhm.
Taeyong, who was
Yeah,
like
that's specifically who I
20
was
at the
thinking of.
time, like
Yeah.
there were like photos and videos of
Yeah.
him like drinking and smoking underage, and everybody's like, well, he's garbage now. And I'm like, no, he was a kid. Like,
Yeah.
can't they like
You're-
learn from their mistakes?
You're telling me that you also didn't do things behind your back, Lauren. I find that hard to believe. But like that's what I'm talking about, is like cancel culture is problematic, which is a really fun thing, like a really fun word for them to use all the time. And to be fair, people were canceling people long before the internet made it a thing.
Yeah.
But it's so widespread now because of the internet. And I think that, like you said, like for me, it depends on the severity of the like mistake or crime.
Yeah,
or-
it's like if somebody was trying to make a bad joke
Mhm.
and they ended up offending people,
Mhm.
it's like that's not that bad. I think they
But
just
at
need to
the-
learn from it.
But at the same time, like those same people turn around and their apologies sound a lot like, I'm sorry you were offended, not I'm sorry I said this offensive thing.
Yeah,
and,
and it's
from
like
it.
it's like if you're like genuinely sorry and you genuinely want to change that, I don't
Mhm.
see the reason.
Yeah,
why.
people will do it. Yeah.
Yeah, and like
And like, to be fair, like I don't think Jared had spoken up before. Like I don't really know anything about him, so I'm
he
saying this-
hadn't. No, he was
he hadn't said
quiet.
anything. So for all intents and purposes, like people sincerely thought that he had done the things that these people said. But
Mhm.
when he finally was like, yo, this is what happened, people are now suddenly like, oh shit, we have to walk back all our comments. And like the one thing that the internet as a collective is really bad at is saying sorry and owning up to their own bullshit.
God, I know. Yeah,
Because they really want to get on this weird like,
Or they double down.
or they double down on it and they're like,
Mhm.
no, he's still trash. Like he's still like solicited nudes, and it's like it's not a crime
Mm-hmm.
to solicit nudes from a consenting adult. and
Yeah,
to
exactly.
receive said nudes.
Yeah, exactly.
But the line gets blurry, and people want to slut shame, and people want to like victim blame, and people still want to blame the person soliciting the nudes, and it's like a really weird gray area, and the internet is really bad at living in that gray area.
Mhm.
And like reconciling feelings, or like compartmentalizing feelings, and like owning up and being like, oh shit, I fucked up this time, not that person. And like, I don't know, the internet to me is like as someone who's been on the internet for years and years, like who literally grew up with the internet before it was at the palm of my hand. I literally had to like fire up a computer to do it.
Mhm.
Like the internet has always had this weird seedy side of it
Mhm.
that people are always going to abuse, and I feel like Jared just fell victim to that.
Yeah.
Of like, one part it's cancel culture, and the other part is just people needing to feel righteous,
Yeah. It's like,
and he happened to be an outlet for that because he's well known.
yeah.
He is visible, and he's a man, like he's a white man, and like, yes, there's a lot of things that straight white men do that are not okay.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen of the video and what I've heard of it, he's not one of those types of men,
Yeah.
to my knowledge.
Yeah. There's a lot I could say about a lot of things with cancel
Mhm.
culture, but it's like
It's really tiring.
me not wanting to be, I guess, confronting. Like,
Mhm.
I don't want to say something because I am in a community with a lot of people who are very much like, we want to be good people.
Yeah.
So, like, if I say something slightly that
Mhm.
they could deem problematic, like,
Mhm.
I don't want to ruin
Mhm.
anything, because I have a lot of opinions
Mhm.
on those things, but
Mhm.
I try to like hold them in because I don't
Mhm.
want to say anything and like ruin what I have.
See, and like,
Essentially,
I'm a little different from that, in that like, I'm not the same person I was at 14 years old. Like at 14 years old, I was saying like the F word, and I thought like like POC could say like the N word, and it was fine because like we got a pass. But like, I'm not that same person at 26, almost 27.
We used to be able to say the R word and things like that.
Yeah, and like I personally have never liked that word. But I'm not, and I will admit I sort of side eye people when they use it.
yeah,
But like at the same time, if someone isn't going to change, I'm not going to try to change them. And like, I also have a problem in general with people being like, well, everyone's so sensitive nowadays, and it's like, we're not sensitive. We just have more knowledge of things.
yeah.
So I see
yeah,
that
exactly.
I see that side of cancel
I see
culture.
both sides of it.
I see
Yeah.
both sides of it. And like, I have been a part of like cancel culture, like, and it's really easy to get wrapped up in, again, in the K-pop world, and cancel people left and right. But at this point, I think like it was a really bad example about how cancel culture gets a lot of things wrong. Like,
Yeah, I definitely agree. And
like I could say like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't like chihuahuas, and suddenly people would be like, she's a dog hater,
yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
like sick PETA on me, and it's like, I know
Covering
he knows,
his ears.
he knows I don't dislike him.
No.
Um,
He's the best.
But like that's how things can get blown out of proportion, and I think that's what happened here, is that he was soliciting nudes during a time in a personal relationship of his where things were muddy,
Mm-hmm.
and someone saw that and was like, oh,
Yeah, and he
I
like
can latch on to it and make it.
and he like said he was like,
gross.
I've been trying to separate from her for a while, but
Mhm.
she was refusing to divorce
Mhm.
from me.
Yeah.
And that's pretty shitty. But the other thing about cancel culture is that something else happened this week
Mhm.
that involves cancel culture.
Mhm.
Alex Homolka.
Is this the Night in the Woods guy?
Yes, so
With the Zoe
he
Quinn?
co-created.
Okay.
He co-created Night in the Woods. And he committed suicide this past week, and it had to do with accusations from I don't know what she is. She's like a gamer.
She was the chick who started Gamergate.
Yeah, she was the one that started Gamergate, and it's like
Zoe Quinn.
Zoe Quinn,
She's
yeah.
a journalist and
she's
game
a journalist.
developer.
She wrote a book. She accused him.
She made a game called Depression Quest.
Okay.
Mhm.
She accused him of like physical abuse, sexual
Mhm.
abuse, emotional abuse, something along those lines, and he was immediately like dismissed from his company. He was
Mhm.
immediately like distanced from all his friends and family.
So like
and-
things that typically the internet wants to happen. Like, they
yeah,
dox
yeah.
someone,
But then he
yeah.
like killed himself, and nobody knows, what to believe now. And I think that's just, I don't know.
I will
I don't
say
know how to feel about anything.
in cases like that, a lot of people on the internet will jump to the conclusion that he quote unquote took the easy way out because he was guilty.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and like I by no reason am
Homolka. I was
yeah.
thinking of Carla Homolka, who is
oh
a serial killer.
oh fun your hobby comes out.
Homolka.
Like, I do just want to clarify that by no means are we saying that like
That like Zoe
You
Quinn
need-
is lying or
or-
that he's guilty.
yeah
Like-
But
we're
there was tons of stuff that came out even after the Zoe Quinn
Yeah.
thing, originally in Gamergate,
Yeah,
where
of
she was
course.
like lying about some of the stuff. And,
Really.
like,
Mhm.
But there was like there was a bunch of girls that came
Yeah.
out against the same guy that she was,
Mhm.
accusing.
Yeah, I
and,
just
God, I didn't even know what Gamergate
it's hard to
was.
talk about.
Yeah, it's hard to talk about.
Yeah,
I didn't even know what
like-
Gamergate was until like
Yeah.
earlier this year.
And, like-
because like I'd always heard it talked about,
yeah.
but
Yeah. No, but I did just want to clarify that like these things are very serious. Like sexual assault, sexual abuse are all very serious things. Suicide is very serious, and we're not by any means saying that like we don't believe people when they say
No, of course
something
Yeah, I
like
would
that.
say with like the entire Me Too movement,
Mm-hmm.
the people who are lying, the people who are either taking like
Yeah.
the Aziz Ansari's thing, that
Mhm.
whole thing. The people who are lying or taking things out of context or taking
Mhm.
situations and blowing them up to bigger what they
yeah,
actually.
those people living
Those
in
are
the gray
hurt.
and-
Those are the people
yeah.
that are hurting the
The
actual
yeah,
movements.
the actual movement. Yeah.
Mhm.
Whenever you lie
Mhm.
about something, it really discredits
Mhm.
the people who
Mhm.
actually did go through those things.
Like
and-
Jesse Smollett.
That's
Sorry,
a
I just
whole
watched-
other
This
thing.
episode
I
is
just-
just so dark.
Well, we have something nice at the end.
We
but-
do have
Yeah.
something nice
We
at the
do
end,
have
and I
something
like.
nice
I
at
think
the
that's all I
end.
wanted to talk about.
But
Okay,
I
let's
Yeah.
watched the
right
Dave
away.
Chappelle special last night, and then he talks about it towards the end.
So yeah, the more I hear about, I've not actually watched the Dave Chappelle
it's pretty
special.
funny.
So the more you're actually the first person I've heard say that.
Well, I'm a very different person than a lot of people that you
True.
talk to.
True. A lot of people think that his comedy style is outdated and not.
But
current
that's
with
the
the
thing.
times.
Like the
That's-
But
thing
that's
is,
the thing.
the
It's like
point.
comedy is also this gray area, like the internet.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
where,
Dave
like,
Chappelle.
not that a lot of comics believe that not everything is off limits.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
nothing is
And
off limits in
Dave
comedy.
Chappelle, even back in 2006, was like,
Yeah.
"I'm going to offend everybody,
Yeah.
and I don't give a shit."
It's the
Yeah.
South Park effect, where
It's
it's,
the
like
South
they're
Park
gonna
South
make
Park
fun of
effect.
everyone, even
And
themselves.
Yeah.
It's a hard pill to swallow by people who have grown up with the internet post 9/11, who like suddenly like the participation trophies and the like you can't say the R word, you can't say this, like those are the type of people taking issue with it, and they're completely valid, and people are, and like I've always believed like people are going to be offended by what they want to be offended by, and that's
Mhm.
that. Like I personally am not offended by certain things that other people are offended by, and that's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Same.
it's whatever, and the fact that Dave Chappelle is back to doing comedy specials at all is surprising because he'd fallen off the face of the earth back in the early 2000s at his at the height of his career.
yeah.
the whole special, he does a whole segment on the LGBTQ community.
Yeah, that's the
And,
one that people talk.
and that's the one that when I was with, and I can understand why, but at the
Mhm.
same time, I'm like, it's a funny bit that is kind of
So,
topical, and it makes
I-
sense.
I understand the
can
bit.
you-
I do understand it.
So
I can talk about it if you want to.
So can you clarify what exactly the joke was?
So the joke is he's talking about like the whole community, how it's all together, and he's talking about how the LGBT community is the one who always ends up causing it, like the outrage and the issues for a lot of his specials. He calls them the alphabet people because the L, the B, the G, the P, and like the because he originally starts out with LGBT and then he adds the Q on at the end for like just like the in between people, like what the queer is and what that means and stuff like that. But he talks about how the trans community, like he has L's, he has B's in his life, and he has G's in his life, and they're all okay with him and everything like that. But it's the T's who he has a problem with, so the trans community.
Okay.
And he just kind of like makes some jokes about how like the trans community is kind of like holding back, like pushing forward like the LGBT like agenda and stuff like that, because like pronouns and like stuff like that, and I understand it's true, but at the same time I could see how someone who is going through something could take it out of context.
I think the joke that I had seen that he had said was essentially like how he was like, you have to admit like the concept of being trans, like being a
is a funny situation,
man stuck in a woman's body is a funny situation because
the joke he makes is like, imagine if I was born the way I was, and then he goes, but I really wanted to be a Chinese guy. But and I had the same thought you had, where at the same time it's like, it's not the same thing.
You don't choose to be Chinese or white.
But he's trying to make a comparison where it's like the idea of being born something, but you feel something else on the inside. Just the idea of how funny that is, and he's not saying that it's wrong or anything like that. He's just like, that's a funny thought, like but and he kind of blows it up and kind of makes this whole joke about how like, what if I went around going like the big buck teeth and squinting his eyes sort of thing for like a Chinese person. But he's kind of like people who go around and like going through transition and then like start dressing up like a girl or a guy or doing things like this, and like if you like get it down to like the base thought, it's kind of funny, but at the same time, gender identity is a whole thing, and stuff
like I have a lot to say about that, and it's a lot to unpack in whatever time we have left, but what I will say is I take issue with that, only because like psychologically being trans, and I identify as like a cis bi pansexual woman, like I'm okay with my body, but like where I see that the trans community would take offense to that, and from my understanding he also like alluded to like violence against trans people as something being funny.
Idea. That's just the only
which is also not funny.
No, but that's just the only joke that I saw. I didn't
like
know what else
I get where the joke is, like if you take it down to like just the basics, how that could be funny. It's not funny to me, but that's what I mean by people are going to be offended by what they're offended by. And Dave Chappelle is just one of those people. Like, you know what you're getting when you go to a Dave Chappelle show, and to act like you didn't because it's been 18 years since his last show is a little ignorant in my book.
But he's also like been making those jokes since
for
the
years.
Dave Chappelle show. He's been dressing up in whiteface because he's like, the concept of blackface is ridiculous.
Yeah, and Eddie Murphy did that like way back in the day with SNL, where it was a whole sketch where he goes out as a white person and like shows how he's treated differently than a black person.
Like that's still not as offensive as a white person not doing blackface. Like, it's not new. I don't take offense to that.
No. And like, it's just, like he's under the assumption that it's the same thing, essentially, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that, yet again, where like those jokes are gonna fall flat with like a newer generation than as opposed to people our older siblings, or like even Vinny. Like, Vinny thought it was funny, and Vinny's not that much older than I am.
Yeah, I just have a different sense of humor.
Yeah, it's a different
sense of humor. I have a pretty dark sense of humor.
Yeah.
It's just whenever it comes to things like that, I'm like, I get the joke, but I don't think it's funny.
Yeah, same. But I'm not gonna be like, Vinny, you're wrong for thinking that's funny, and we can't be friends anymore. Like, I'm like,
It's okay.
and people do.
I'll still produce the podcast.
Yeah. I don't want to be part of the podcast because you think this comedian is funny and I don't.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I would like to remove myself from the narrative. Like that's a little extreme for me.
Yeah.
Like that in that case is a little extreme for me, but someone being like, I don't want to be associated with you because of these sexual abuse allegations is also valid. And like people have talked about it when stuff like this comes out. Like they're
Yeah.
just like, they're my friend and I know them as a good person. I did not know about
Yeah.
this other side of them, and I'm reconciling those feelings within myself.
Yeah.
And that's all I want to say about it. It's totally valid.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, like people are going to be offended by what they're offended by. Like I can't tell you what to be offended by. The things I'm offended by are not things that Sarah might be offended by or Vinny by any means. Like you just
I'm not offended
and
by
that's
a lot.
and
but-
that's yeah, same. And like that's the problem also with cancel culture is like they want to be the ones that say like you need to be offended by this, and anyone who's not.
yeah. It's
just
like I'm
their
gonna understand
Yeah.
if somebody else is
Yeah.
offended by it, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna respect that.
Yeah,
you know,
same.
like, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm offended
Right.
by
right.
proxy.
Right.
So I was gonna go on a rant about the Slenderverse, but Vinny really wants to talk about something with us.
Mhm.
So we're gonna do that instead.
yeah. So
I will rant about the Slenderverse next time because I have a lot to say
Mhm.
about it.
I just really like talking about creepy internet stories.
Yeah,
But
me
yes,
too.
We're gonna give it
Yes.
over to Vinny to discuss.
I have an image. Hold on.
Because we didn't talk about a lot of true crime today. We talked mostly about internet gossip. So next
Mhm.
week or
We'll
in a
get a
couple
little-
weeks,
Have
I'm listen. I already said that Josh was cute in the fucking Blue's Clues trailer. I was like, oh, that's a cutie. And then all of these fucking buff ass images of him with these like arms, and I'm like, oh hell yes.
I mean, to be fair, the sweater doesn't really hide much. We're talking about Blue's Clues, people.
Oh,
So
sorry.
yeah, Blue's Clues is coming back again for another time, another trip around that Nick Jr. Who did you guys grow up with Blue's Clues?
Oh yeah, I have like
We're
VHS
literally
tape.
Okay.
almost the same age. Yes,
Yeah.
I
I mean,
grew up with Blue's Clues.
I talk to Zizi about things sometimes, and she's like, I
She
watched
was
it like
also
once. and-
fucking sheltered. I don't know. She grew up on
Love you, Zizi.
Captain Bible. I also grew up.
Captain
I don't think it
Bible.
was Captain. She says she's watched she watched Disney Channel more.
Yeah. I watched Veggie Tales growing up. Also.
but-
I was really into Blue's Clues.
Blue's
I
Clues with my shit. I had a handy dandy notebook. I
did too.
had a blow up big red chair. Yes, that I used to sit in.
Vinny was
and-
in it.
I was. And so when they dropped this trailer, I was like, oh, what's this? And I saw, oh, they're
Mhm.
redoing Blue's Clues again, but it's
Mhm.
a continue. There's a Blue's Clues like multiverse
Universe.
universe. There's the Blue Clue, the BCU.
You.
The BCU, yeah.
Mm.
I think that's a university
It
somewhere.
is a-
But
University.
BCU. There's a BCU. But so there was Steve, that's the one I remember. Then there was his cousin or
Joe.
something, Joe. And then this is
Didn't care for Joe.
how is he related to them? Is he just
He's
like
their
He's their
cousin.
cousin.
he's their cousin also?
Yes.
Mhm.
So they're secretly all like
Related.
Filipino.
Filipino.
Yes.
Okay. But
It's like the
Brady
brand.
Bunch.
It's like the Brandy version of Cinderella.
Oh
where,
yeah.
like,
Oh fuck. I
where,
love that
like,
version
the-
of Cinderella.
but to be fair, like it makes sense from like a theater or like Broadway standpoint because they cast based on like actual talent.
Yeah,
not
and
on
it's
race.
the same. It's the same
Yeah.
with like Hamilton, like
Mhm.
the Schuler.
yeah.
Skylar.
So I looked
Fucking
in,
the
but
Skylar sisters are all like, it's like they're black, they're half black, half white, you know, like
Mhm.
Hispanic, like they're all different races, and it's
Mhm.
like,
So that's how they casted it.
But they released a trailer, and the trailer is him talking to the audience like
Mhm.
they do on the Blue's Clues, and he's
Mhm.
like, "Oh, I think I'm gonna need some help because I don't know what Blue needs or whatever she wants to do." And then she goes talk to what I can't remember his name. That's like the one guy, the second dude I can't remember.
Joe.
Joe. Sorry, I didn't.
it's okay.
He's so
It's
violent
Steve, Joe,
about
and
it.
Josh.
Steve, Joe, and Josh.
Mhm.
But Joe, and then Joe, he's at the present store, which is like I don't know what he went to.
Yeah,
he just went to the present store and he works there
boxes
now.
Gifts, yeah.
He boxes gifts. But fucking they go to Steve, and Steve, he's got his own detective agency. He went off to college, and he went through all that true crime stuff. So wraps back around again. He's a detective.
Go off.
Yeah. and he's
It
talking.
comes full circle.
It comes
It
full
does. It
circle.
does come full. I've been thinking about that since we were gonna record. I'm like, I'm gonna bring it back around
Yeah.
into true crime. He's a detective,
Mhm.
but and he's like, hey, can I speak to my friend? And I was watching this, and I was on the phone with ZZ, watching at the same time, and I'm gonna cry right now.
No, go
But
off,
he
Benny. I
is
love
like
you.
he's like, can I speak to my friend
Yeah.
real quick? And he's like, hey. And I'm like, oh, that's me. I'm his friend. I'm his friend. Stevie's talking to me because and I don't know. It was just like this moment.
No,
I
it was
had.
like a nostalgic,
Yeah.
feel good
No, it's
moment. I
good, yeah.
love
Dude,
that.
have you seen the sexy pictures of Steve though?
No.
From Blue's
Yeah,
Clues?
I think I have.
Or like he looks like a gay porn star.
yeah, I think
He's
I
like-
have.
But everything's come back around, and like apparently the handy dandy notebook is also a smartphone. I'm like,
Yeah, they got with the time.
They got with
Yeah.
that time.
Blue never ages. She just,
She is an immortal
But the-
Lovecraftian god.
she evolved into like a 3D stop motiony
Yeah.
looking
yeah,
thing
yeah,
now.
yeah.
She got
She's
enough
no
sacrifices.
Yeah, she's no longer like a paper animation.
Yeah,
type
everything's
thing.
all 3D now.
Yeah.
But
Which,
like,
I love the paper animation look, which is why I love
Same.
Paper Mario so much. But like,
I just want to know how Salt, Pepper, and Paprika are doing.
I know, me too. Didn't they had like another baby?
Probably.
yeah, they had more babies.
Mhm.
Other spices, I don't know.
Saffron.
That, like I said, there's a BCU.
There's
Mhm.
a BCU.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look it up.
Yeah.
Magenta was my
Magenta.
favorite.
Magenta.
I
is her
liked
best
Magenta.
friend.
Magenta and Periwinkle.
Oh, Periwinkle's so cute.
But I can't wait to all the adventures that they go on that I'm not gonna watch, but I will learn about.
I mean, you should watch it.
I will probably watch it. I'll be
and you can
honest.
talk about the
But,
newest
like-
episode of Blue.
But like,
Blue's Clues on
fuck
this podcast.
Endgame, fuck all that. That moment right there is better than anything
Uh,
Marvel has
the
ever done.
most ambitious crossover.
All
of
three
time.
hosts standing
Mhm.
there, standing proud.
Yeah.
via
no. Mhm.
via Blue smartphone video call.
Yes.
And like, no, I was very much into Clues growing up.
Mhm.
Like I watched.
I
almost
was more
every
of a
episode.
little bear girl, and like
I
I felt
also
like a
loved
lot-
Little
I
Bear.
was
I was
little.
just a Nickelodeon kid. Like I
Mhm.
watched all the Nickelodeon shows, but I also watched the Disney shows
Mhm.
and the Cartoon Network shows. I was raised by a television. I watched so much
I watched
TV growing up.
Nickelodeon and Cartoon
Mhm.
Network. But
Yeah.
I didn't watch Disney because the only times I ever watched Disney, they had the live action shows, and I was like, this isn't fucking cartoons. I don't want to see people.
No, I watched. Yeah, I watched the Disney Channel movies growing up. That was mostly.
yeah.
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 But like I had a computer game, like a Blue's Clues computer game where they go to like a carnival and like I still think about it sometimes.
Mhm.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, but we got like super depressing and like really serious
I know.
for like 40 minutes.
Look at this man.
I know, yeah. He's like in a Scandinavian like death metal band now or something.
Wait, look at that. Wait, look at the top right one. No, all the way.
all the way
all the
with
way.
Josh with his like hair. No, that is so cute.
Oh my God, I
Stop.
love it. Oh.
Ugh, I'm living. See, and like bless Steve for like
Look at this
being-
fucker.
being like self-aware
Who is
enough.
Steve Burns dating? Who is he
Like being
dating?
self-aware enough to like know like this is what made me famous. So
Yeah,
you know what? We're gonna
exactly.
take another stroll around the Blue's Clues block.
He looks like Steve Rogers before he got the super soldier serum in that picture.
He does. He
Mhm,
definitely does.
mhm.
Like a Steve Rogers,
Yeah,
Bucky
yeah,
Barnes
yeah.
combo.
Yeah. I mean, I can respect it. Like I said, game recognizes game.
Game recognizes
And
game.
like he was just out here trying to give the girls like nostalgia and like feel good feelings. And it apparently worked because our friend Vinny was literally almost brought to tears.
It's true. Oh,
Mhm.
yeah, there's Joe.
Mm-hmm.
And his square shirt, which is why he's wearing
Mhm.
a present shirt now. Well,
Mhm.
yeah, God, that haircut looks terrible on him.
Mhm.
He aged well.
He did age well, yeah. Congrats,
What's
Steve.
the other guy's name?
Josh.
Josh. He's so new.
I have a couple pictures saved. But
You know, when I was watching the thing, I was like, oh man, he's cute. And then like his name's Josh De La Cruz. And then like they showed off his like shirtless pics. I was like, God.
Yeah, so everyone's like,
And him and his wife are
Thurston.
apparently super cute.
yeah.
Is that his wife?
I actually think he is married.
No, he is married. That's
Yeah.
what I said. Yeah.
We're gonna see some weird shit just searching someone's name.
I know. It's so weird.
But yeah. Oh, this fucking right here. Look at that.
No, yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
god.
Yeah. He's a
If the
cutie.
picture will clear up, hell yeah.
He's
But-
just a total cutie.
He's such a total cutie.
I think it's time to sign off, guys.
Oh, okay,
I've
it's time.
talked.
Cool.
It's time to sign off. I'm gonna go eat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm
I'm gonna
hungry.
go collect my dog and go eat food.
Go home, eat, and play my Switch.
Happy Labor Day
Happy Labor Day.
if you celebrate.
Of laboring.
Yeah. Good job working.
If you were ever in labor,
Yeah.
congrats, moms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and Romeo is officially asleep, so it's time for us to go.
Yeah.
He is doing what I've been wanting to do all the
Does
time.
Does Romeo want to play a Blue's Clues?
Romeo, do you want to play Blue's Clues? Do you want to play Blue's Clues?
He's like, no, I want a Mimi's. Okay. But yeah, this has
Bye.
been Murder Tea Party.
Wait, Vinny wants to say something. What
I
do you
was
wanna
just
say,
saying
Vinny?
bye.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this has been Murder Tea Party. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully next week or the week after. I keep thinking it's weekly. It's bi-weekly. Our podcast is bi-weekly. Catch it on YouTube. And any other places that it's on.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube is at VZTV. And is it on Apple?
Is it on Spotify?
No, not
Or
yet.
SoundCloud?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out.
Oh, okay.
Dope.
We'll figure it out. Also listen to our D&D podcast, Bonus Action Cry. We're finally playing next week. Very
Aurora loves D&D.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, just to plug our social media, you can find me at Aurora Belinda on Instagram, and you can find Sarah.
Momo Queen Bovine on Instagram. That's
Yeah.
my idol Instagram. My other one is private, and I won't share that. And then also my Twitter at Kiryu is a good boy.
Yeah, my Twitter's under construction, so I'll tell y'all when that's done.
Thank you for joining us.
Oh, you can follow my newish Twitter. It's Aurora Belinda's, which is the same thing as Instagram, but just
with an S.
With an S at the end.
Oh, okay, cool.
Plural Belinda's.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll be a little lighter next week. The week after. God damn it, Sarah. Okay, sorry.
We'll be back and try to make
We'll
it
be
not
back.
as serious,
Try to
and
make it
try
not-
not to sound as tired.
Yes, I will be a lot more energetic hopefully then.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for joining us. We love you.
I don't, but like, thank you for listening.
I love you. Bye.
Bye.